I hope you had a chance to go ahead and look at my homeschool curriculum choices for my family subjects. I'm going to go ahead and link that video. Now we are moving on to our individual subjects, specifically our math and language arts. Now before, for my early elementary student, we had tried using some books from the 1800s, and they were very simple and laid out, and I added a few things that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers as some resources. But you really just have to continuously study your students and see what's working well and what is working better or best for them. So we already had some math you see from some time before that we had ventured in, and we did use the videos that come with it, but at that time it just still wasn't a good fit. We are going to go ahead and use them again, but this time we're doing it without the videos. I find that the media resources and sitting and watching just don't do the very best. The videos can be very helpful for many families out there, I know, but for us it just works well to just go through as the teacher and go through the teacher guide, the instructions, and the lessons. In this way, it works out very well for us. Math UC is a unique program in that it uses manipulatives so that you can get an image of the math that you're working on, and of course it corresponds with the lessons here. You can use the blocks to help to build the problem and then incrementally build on the skills that the student is learning. So it can be very, very helpful in terms of the student that needs to really visualize the math concepts, and that I really do like. I also like the simplicity of it. In terms of cost effectiveness, the cost up front is a good amount. I'll go ahead and put the cost for the kit. You have several different options that you can have: a universal kit with the videos, a student kit, and so forth. But you do have to pay a little bit up front, but this is a non-consumable, well-made hardback book in terms of the instruction manual that you can have from one student to the next. So that was very cost effective. It also comes with, in terms of the kit that I bought, it comes with your test booklets. We don't really do much testing because I find the work is already enough and sufficient for me to see understanding. I don't like to drill and drill and drill and really overwhelm with work. So I don't necessarily use the test, but it's nice to have it there if you want to just have something to refresh. And then we have the student workbook. It comes with quite a few problems. I actually divide it out a little bit. I don't do every single worksheet. And that's another thing that we want to think about whenever we're using curriculum with our children. You don't have to do every single worksheet. Tailor it according to the needs. I really do like the layout of it. It's so very simple, and each lesson is pretty short. It's not overwhelming, and it really starts from the elementary level of skill and going up. Really starts to teach place value up front very early on. And of course it's using those manipulatives that correspond with your lesson. You have your 100 block, your 10 block, and your ones block, and so forth, that go with each of the lessons. So that's really nice for your visual learners. I also like that it has some fun pages too, so that you can work on kind of challenging concepts and then break it up with some easier and lighter pages, which my son does enjoy. So this is the Alpha Single Digit Addition and Subtraction Workbook, and we're going to go through this. He actually already knows much of these concepts, but this one is building upon what we already know. So that makes it very nice in terms of incremental learning. And then after this book comes Beta. I like in the front of the instruction manual, you can see the breakdown of the different levels. Comes from primer, alpha, beta, gamma, and all the way up in sequence. And then we just have some counting charts such as these, which are laminated. This one came from another curriculum company, and I just added on so that we can have an additional useful tool for math. So this is cost effective in that you have this non-consumable hardback. The only thing that you would need to purchase again would be the tests if you want to have it, and the student workbook. But me personally, I feel that this can be broken up even amongst 2 children if you really want it to be cost effective, because many of the lessons are a repeat. And for example, here we have a systematic review. So if you want to just focus on the review after you have already nailed down the concept, then you don't have to do all the additional practice sheets. These are just for extra. So this really can be broken up between 2 and even 3 students if you really have someone that already knows the concept and you just want to solidify the foundation. But this is very good for your foundational math. And we have already actually even started it. And our next choice, we are going to continue onwards with our McGuffey series. I did a video talking about these books. They are from the 1800s. They come from a man and a teacher named Mr. McGuffey that really wanted to build a foundation in the educational world, bringing good and rich language curriculum with moral standard and foundation. So the first one that we worked on is the Eclectic Primer, and it's really simple, no bells and whistles, and my son really enjoys it, and he has said that it actually did help him learn how to read. So now we are moving upwards in our ability to read these 3-letter words and really linking the sounds together with the letters. The phonics is so very important. I have learned myself teaching my child. It's so important to learn the phonics, the sounds, and how things are fitting and working together. And what he does now is he can isolate one letter and replace it with another and see that, oh, this one, if you remove that letter, could be hot or tot, and so on. So this has really helped. It's very simple. The pictures, of course, as you can see, are classic. It's not in color. It's in the print of the 1800s in terms of the pictures and the activities, and it talks about the father. It really wants to remind the children about the father, about morals, and about being a good citizen. So this is the Eclectic Primer, and we are going to move on into the Pictorial Primer as well for this year as we move on up in grade. And then, of course, as you can imagine, the lessons get a little harder. But when you have that foundation, it makes it easier. And we have a few more nice, delightful pictures. I really do enjoy books like these. No frills, just classic, beautiful drawings. And I was so happy to find this additional resource. These books are printed from Mott Media, and they have a wealth of resources on their website that I had not even known about. So we are really working on getting our handwriting nice and foundationally set, and this is a series. It's called McGuffey's Writing Workbook. It's the writing series that works with your McGuffey Readers. They go hand in hand. And we go from all these simple letter tracing, understanding the phonics, how things work together in terms of making a word, and it really breaks it down nicely. I was so excited to find this one. I think it's going to be a valuable tool for us in terms of reminding us of the foundations and then building upwards. And they have different levels. I'll go ahead and leave the link for it so that you can check it out yourself. And again, back to cost effectiveness, this one will definitely hit that spot. Each of the workbooks are only around $7.99, and they do have a code for 10% off when I bought mine, so you can go ahead and grab it if you see it. So I went ahead and bought different series because I want to do some foundational reminders and then moving onwards to higher levels. So I have from series 1 some options, book 1 and 2, and then I also have from series 2 book 4, and as you can see, the lessons become harder. You're even going to go into some small foundational grammar, but as I'm following the Charlotte Mason method, we don't want to push all that grammar until around age 10. So I'm not pushing that, but we will do just a light review of what a sentence is, periods, nouns, things of that nature, so that we would have already heard it, but we are not going to be stressed in trying to understand all the grammar and the rules. So this one is nice because it's going to start teaching you some cursive, which is nice at this level for us. And then it just continues to go onwards. I have some for series 2 again, and then I have some for series 3. And it also uses the Harvey's grammar book and another penmanship book as you go up in the levels. So this is a great resource to pair with your McGuffey's primer and the pictorial primer, as well as other levels on upwards. And then we just use simple tools like this to remind ourselves about the phonic sounds and so forth. Just so very simple. Don't get bogged down into all the details and the bells and whistles and the phonics cards and the grammar cards and all these things. Keep it simple in this early level, especially when your child is under 10. Focus on their abilities to read, write, and understand. Fill their time with rich books that are intriguing and really help to nourish and develop the mind. I'm definitely going to be going into the Charlotte Mason method and what she thought about teaching early learners so that they can be well prepared and having a strong foundation, not with just simple books that she would call twaddle, but actually rich literature, bringing a feast of things before their eyes, different subjects, to ponder upon, and not lengthy times of doing work, but short amounts of focused and concentrated rich work that build and help the children to grow with the backing of their moral foundations, and always keeping their eyes on the Father. So very important, and we are definitely going to get into those details in some future videos. So I hope that this was helpful for you, seeing what we are using for the 2023-2024 academic year for our language arts and our math. And if you have any questions about anything that we went over today, please do feel free to write it in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video, where I will be going over my early, middle, and junior high school math and language arts picks. I will see you then, and as always, do all you can to be more and more sustainable, and be blessed.